Okay, go get on the telephone, Linda, and answer all these codes. small business here, you know.
You have to go and what? Do a commercial? Is that the deal?
Yeah, we got a commercial coming up.
So busy. It's amazing.
One thing or another. Linda will take care of you now, okay?
All right. Well,
All
thanks a
right.
lot. We'll be watching for you at Rockingham this weekend. We'll see the races on TNN, and we'll be there.
We'll be back down and check you out.
Go, King, go.
All right.
All right, Richard. Thanks a lot. Here comes another video now. Video morning. Look, he gets a hat. Yes, indeed. You going to show us what you just bought?
Oh, yeah, I want to model this. Can I?
Yes.
You
Check
hold
this
this,
out.
please?
Sure will. Here's Al Winter and his latest purchase.
It looks great from this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But the back is what really gets you.
Check this out. Whoa! Yeah, that is neat. You know, you should maybe, you know, feeling sick yesterday, you should put a little STP in your carburetor. You might have you might feel a little better. But yeah, they've got so many nice things here. Stuff I haven't seen in any other museum shop, especially that country ham. That blew me away. But do you have a touch in? Well, I know you put a lot of stuff in here, but are these T-shirts and all this stuff that they have for sale? You got to be somebody has to oversee all this.
Well, Larissa Davis and Doris, of course, do the buying, and they know what people come in and ask for, the shirts and the hats, and, of course, all the other little things. So
well,
they do a good job.
Yeah, they do. You could tell us some stories about some of the things the fans have done, but I don't know if we have you know...
It would take a long time.
It's only a 3-hour show.
Why don't you do like a candid photo album? Stuff that people have never seen and maybe never should see. That would really sell.
That would.
There are some cute pictures back there with the Speedway queens giving him kisses on the cheek, and has some unforgettable looks on his face. Yeah.
Bet you there were some unforgettable looks when he got home, too, huh?
Yeah, not if he was kissing them in public. That's okay.
Whoops. Well, that's just part of the job, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, Linda's going to stay with us for a while, talk about a few things. Right now, we're going to do a video. How about Mark Chestnut? See them all dancing in here to the music. We are blasting the place out.
Mark Chestnut has that effect on people. He just does.
We're going to show you some of Richard Petty's crew, talk some more, got a collection she's going to show us, and much more. So stay with us. Here we are in Level Cross, North Carolina at the Richard Petty Museum. Linda, his wife, is with us. And a while back, I was in Daytona. I asked a lot of people, Buddy Baker, Bobby Hamilton, some other race car drivers, if they knew what STP stood for. They didn't know. Now, Linda knows. I know you know, but Al?
No, it's one of those things you don't think about.
You don't know?
It's just been there forever. You know,
Anybody
so I
here
call Andy Granatelli, and I don't know what.
Do you know Susan? Rhonda? Gary?
Stop taking pictures.
Stop the press. No, it's what is it?
Scientifically treated petroleum.
That's the way it started. I think it's scientifically treated products now.
Well, I said special treated petroleum, but you're right, it's scientifically treated product.
Yeah. Now you know, huh?
Yeah.
You think you'll ever
forget? Companies started like a lot of them do, real small, and just grew and grew and grew for a lot of reasons. A lot of hard work was probably the main one, but today it's you know, one of the great American success stories.
Yeah, it is, and been sticking with Richard Petty since what, 1971?
21 years.
It's a long time. Can you think of? That's almost as long as Ralph and Goody's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe not quite. Okay, well, now we got that amazing fact out of the way. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. What do we want to do? We're going to talk dolls later with Linda, right?
Yeah, she's got this most amazing collection of dolls that we'll show you in just a few minutes. But right now, let's do that new one from Tanya Tucker. Here's Some Kind of Trouble.
There is number 43, Richard Petty, who also is a pretty mean paper wad thrower.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to get that one and keep it forever. That's wild. Saw some footage there in racing in 43, and I wondered how he came up with that number.
Well, when he started racing, his dad was racing the number 42, and so I guess he could have picked 41 or 43, whichever, it didn't matter. But he got to thinking, you know, you hear people say 7 is lucky, lucky 7. So he said, well, 4 and 3 make 7, so that's 43.
It worked out pretty darn good.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Logic can work.
Yeah, that's neat, though. You know, your dad, his father's been racing for so long, Lee Petty is. He's still hanging around, right? I mean, sometimes
he's still around.
It comes out of the. I know he's got a putting green out front, right out front. He does a lot of that.
spend some time out practicing up on his golf.
Oh, they don't retire numbers in racing like they do.
Not usually. It would probably have to be something really special. And, you know, a lot of people are asking us, are you going to retire the number 43? And I don't really think we're going to, because I think that, you know, even though that was Richard's number for so many years, that as long as we're going to continue to have a car and have a team, it just still seems appropriate to have number 43 as our number.
I think
Yes,
NASCAR, Richard doesn't really own the number, right? NASCAR does.
I think basically they do. They control that part of it.
Oh, well. Well, we'll still be seeing the 43 out there. That's comforting, too.
That's going to be the main thing.
All right.
Here's a guy who's had, you can call it a comeback of a kind, swinging, and then there was not too much after that, and then he came back real strong with this one. It's happening to John Anderson.
Yes, indeed. He is back in full force to Straight Tequila tonight. And coming up, a guy who's really moving up the scene with this next song. Sammy Kershaw is coming up. We'll show you his video next. All right, welcome back. Live from the Richard Petty Museum with Linda Petty, wife of Richard. You know, I got a chance to meet a lot of the people that have been with Richard Petty Enterprises for a long, long time yesterday. I got to meet Wade. He's one of them. Although Perk is my favorite.
Right.
Pack.
They've been here a long time.
Yeah, Wade's one of them, and he got to show us from start to finish what happens with the cars. We went to the garage yesterday, and you wouldn't believe how many cars are in there. I must have counted 15, 16 cars.
A lot of them.
And a whole bunch. But Wade kind of took us through from start to finish. Let's take a look. This guy right here, very reluctant to talk, but he's kind of camera shy, is Wade Thornburg. Now, you've been on the Petty team for, what, 20 years or so?
About 25 years.
Long time.
Long time.
Well, you're the one that we wanted to talk to because we know you know everything it is from start to bottom. This shop is equipped to build a car from the nuts to bolts all the way out to race day ready, right?
Right.
Well, what do you got behind us?
This car is a road course car.
But it's basically what most of the cars, whether they be Ford or GM or whatever, they look like that at the beginning.
All of them look about the same.
That is what you call the skeleton?
That's right.
Really?
Yep, that's a skeleton.
Well, that's, is there another name for it?
Well, it's a rolling chassis, they call it.
There it is. The roll bar, the
Right.
roll cage, whatever.
Yeah.
They all start out basically just like that.
Right.
Didn't you used to make those here in the shop?
We built them all back in the, up to about 1980, I think we started buying them from different places. Mostly Mike Laughlin then.
Because it's cheaper, might as
Yeah,
well.
it's cheaper.
All right, well, let's go to the next step.
Okie doke.
From the skeleton, we go on to the next room of the shop here where a couple of guys are working right now. Guys that are very good friends of yours, Wade, I might add.
Yeah, we're all good friends around here. We don't fight a whole lot.
No, these folks have been together for a long time. Now, tell us what exactly, what step is this? The next step after the roll cage, right?
They're fabricating the body. They're putting the body on it.
Now, these the body comes in pieces, right?
Right. They buy some of it and they make most of it.
So you can buy like a rear quarter fender?
They buy the quarter panels along there. They buy all that and make the rest of it.
What about that nose and the tail end?
The nose and the tail is made especially for racing.
Of course, that's not sheet metal, is it?
No, it's some kind of fiberglass.
And these guys, this is where it starts to look like a GM.
Right. Looks more like a Pontiac.
Yeah, and they're gonna sand it down, smooth it out, and rivet it together.
Sand it down, smooth it out, and send it to the body shop. That's the next step for it to go to the body shop.
Then what happens?
Well, they bring it back down here and we put it together over here on the other side.
Did you ever do any of this fabricating
No,
yourself?
I'm not a fabricator.
Is that right? Well, what exactly did you do mostly in the 25 years with Richard?
Well, I've just sort of helped out a whole lot, changed tires and pit crew and up till about 1980, and been working in the shop here ever since then.
Wow, I figured you'd done it all. Not quite.
Done everything but drive.
Well, there's something else we're going to show you, too, now. Once the car gets all its body put together, smoothed out, then it goes where?
It goes down here where we put it together.
Let's go look.
All right.
And voila, here's the next step, and I guess the final step then, Wade. What happens after it gets the fabrication? It moves in here, and then what?
It moves in here, and then it gets ready to go racing. This is where we put them all together here to go to the racetracks and see what we can get done with them.
Do they put the paint on first before they put the motor in?
Oh, yeah, it's all the body work's done before we get the car down here to get it ready to go racing.
And that includes all the weighing out and the nuances you got to work out of the
Well,
car?
you don't weigh the car till you get the motor and all the suspension and everything under it.
Yeah, and that's what you do in here.
That's what we do in here.
That takes a lot of time. What would you say takes the most time? Just this part?
No, building a car, I guess, takes the most part. You can put the motor and all the suspension in about half a day.
Yeah, not bad.
It's a hustle.
Yeah, which you usually have to if you got to put a motor in.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking at the car that was in the Twin 125 accident there. What'd you have to get done to that?
We sent it back to Mike Laughlin. He put a bottom A-frame mount on it, and that was all that was wrong with it.
That's a pretty big thing, though.
Well, it
Can't run with
took
it.
us longer to get it down there and get it back than it did for him to fix it.
Right. Well, all these cars here, are they all the same, basically?
All of them basically the same. This car right here we're looking at now is a backup car for Rockingham, and it will be run at Bristol, Tennessee, in
All right.
the upcoming races.
So all of them have slightly different setups? then?
Yeah, they're all different setups.
Don't you just love working here for Richard Petty?
Well, I've worked here so long, I just kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, well,
Doing anything else, I reckon.
I bet. Long time. Now, you and Richie, we're going to get some stories later on. I mean, these guys have been with Richard Petty for a long time. There's bound to be something you could tell us, right?
Well, I reckon I've been here. I come work here in 1965, so
Right here at this location?
right here. Well, no, it was up in the other building.
Where the Kyle Museum is? Or that used to be Kyle's shop, right?
Yeah, Kyle used to work over there. Well, we maintained Richard's cars over there in the early
Is that right?
70s.
So you got there in there, what year, do you remember? You started working for Richard?
In 1965.
Wow. Boy, you were there when you had to experience all that stuff that Richard did when he was just winning everything.
Yeah,
Couldn't touch him.
Yeah, it was nice.
You're a proud man.
I like to see him do it again.
Me too. And everybody else, there's no doubt. Thanks a lot, Wade. Appreciate
You're
your
welcome.
time.
Thank you.
What a guy.
Is he a character?
Yeah, he is.
He's
That's a
he
secret.
kind of enjoys working for Richard.
You get good people like that around you, you can't help but do things right.
Oh, yeah. They just take it in stride.
I'm sure that's the way Sammy Kershaw feels about us.
Oh, what a Richard Petty Museum. And back at home, Linda, wife of Richard, has a museum of sorts of your own. You collect dolls, beautiful dolls. Want to tell us about some of these?
Well, I've always had a love for dolls, and of course I loved baby dolls. And I was so determined, I guess, that my girls would love baby dolls. And so I kept buying them dolls, and of course they didn't. They loved the Barbie dolls, which I think most little girls do.
Uh-huh.
So I accumulated so many dolls thinking that the girls would someday have the love for them that I had. And as I began to buy them the dolls, I began to look around and get more into the antique dolls and dolls that maybe were not necessarily, I didn't join a doll club, and I don't buy dolls just because the collectors say this is the doll that you've got to have in a collection. I looked for the things in dolls that I liked, maybe how they were dressed or how their faces looked. And so over a period of years, all at once I've turned around and I guess I have between 400 and 500 dolls in my total collection.
Started out trying to do it for your daughters, but it ended up...
It's ended up being for Linda.
Oh,
That's what it's done.
You have got some gorgeous models here.
Well, these are some special ones that I just wanted to bring and share. And we'll start on the front row. And this doll is a doll that Richard just gave me for Christmas, the Indian doll. And this doll is all hand done. This doll has been fired like 80 sometimes. And she's beautiful. She looks real. I'm sure the people that are looking at her feel like she's looking right back.
It's uncanny. The eyes, the eyelashes, the hair.
There were only 98 of these dolls made.
That's real hair?
Real hair.
And eyelashes?
And eyelashes.
And what about her lips? Those aren't real, are they? They sure look real.
I don't think they're real, but the doll does look real.
Absolutely.
The doll in the middle, this was a doll that Richard made a tour to Vietnam in the, I think it was 70 or 71. And he, at that time, he knew, well, I had been collecting them, and he thought that would be one thing I would love. So he was gone for about 3 or 4 weeks. And when he came back, we were so excited about him coming home, and we went to the airport. And when he got off the plane, he had these boxes that he had put together with some tape and cardboard with coat hangers twisted in the top of them. He had made boxes to protect 3 dolls, and he was carrying them with the coat hangers. And here he come down the corridor of the airport, and of course was carrying the dolls. And so those are really special.
What a nice
He carried them
surprise.
a long way.
Gosh, that's
The
great.
doll on the end is a French antique, German antique doll that I have found in my travels.
How old is that doll? It looks real old.
That doll is probably close to 100 years old.
Wow.
Both of the antique dolls are. I'll tell you about this one in a minute. This doll is on the back this is Rapunzel, and she is a Franklin Mint doll. I'm a big collector of Franklin Mint dolls, and my little granddaughters all love the fairy tale about Rapunzel and her golden hair. So that was why I bought that one, and they think she's beautiful. They're going to fight over her someday.
Yeah.
And
You have
then
3 girls, right?
3 little granddaughters.
Oh,
and
okay.
3 daughters and 3 granddaughters.
Oh, boy.
But the doll in the middle, of course, if nobody recognizes, this is Richard Petty. A friend and neighbor made this doll, and she said, I want to make a doll to look just like your husband, and I said, good luck. And so she really came close, even to his little cowboy boots and his little cowboy hat.
Do a lot of people make you Richard Petty dolls?
Oh, yes. I've got a big collection of Richard Petty dolls, and would like sometime to set them up here in the museum so that the people say I've got one made out of corn shucks, one that was crocheted, and then several like this that have been made and dressed.
It's uncanny.
And then, of course, the last doll is a French antique doll. And for the people looking, you can see the difference in the coloring in the faces from the German to the French. And both of those are dolls that I just acquired on my travels, and love their big hats and their lacy dresses. And
It, too, is about 100 years old? Wow.
And both of those dolls are real old.
They sure did dress them up. That has so much clothes, and the hat is so large.
Oh, they're fancy dress. And this is just, just a few of what I have. I apologize for not being able to show them all, but
Quite all
I have
right.
a lot of special dolls, and of course that is the one thing Richard's given me, a lot of dolls, because that's one thing he knows I love.
Well,
These are all my children, and they mind really well. They never talk back. They're always well behaved.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been? You said you had like 400 or 500 of them, dolls.
Well, it's when I was older, after I was in high school. Well, my mother and father always still gave me a doll, and so of course, by then I didn't play with them, and I had saved those, and so they came along when I got married. Like everybody takes their little teddy bear or bunny rabbits. Well, I carried my dolls to live in Level Cross, North Carolina, and I moved from Rattleman to Level Cross, and so just over the years, like I said, when I had my own daughters, I thought that I could instill in them the love for the dolls that I had, but Barbie won that battle, and so I just kept buying dolls, and like I said, first thing I knew, I had a tremendous collection.
No doubt. They seem so delicate. Maybe that's what it is about the Barbies. You can wang them around and smack them around, but these, you might want to put them behind glass.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't want to be trying to take their clothes off and put them back on like you do the Barbie dolls.
And none of them wet either, do they? They
No.
just sit there and be
They're
good.
well behaved. That's what I said. They're all well behaved.
Even this one?
Even this one. He does behave himself.
Oh, boy. Linda, thanks a lot. These are beautiful. I'm glad you could bring them.
Thank you for asking me to show them, because
All
they are
right.
very special.
Very nice. Well, that always gets a reaction out of the crowd. There's Sawyer Brown and they're brand new, and some girls do.
We're here at the Petty Museum. We're going to stay here, too, all the rest of video morning. We got some more stuff coming up right after this. Stuff, that is. Now, of course, you recognize us. We're here at the Petty Museum, and we have another special guest. Guys, they've got a big responsibility.
Indeed. This is Keith Fair, and he is the coordinator for the whole Richard Petty Fan Appreciation Tour. What a job.
Well, it's really exciting. It's been wide open ever since the beginning. In fact, I think when Richard talked to me the other day, he said, I'm not sure what's running faster, the tour or the car.
Oh, gosh. Well, there's no doubt anybody that had a buck to spend wants to be a part of this. You must have a lot of sponsors. And
The doors have really opened up. We're bringing some people to racing that have never been involved before. We're excited about their opportunities, and especially being able to ride the coattails of the tour this year. It's
got
gonna
some
be great.
new sponsors. I noticed, Richard had his country ham over there. That's a unique sponsor for a race car.
It really is. These aren't sponsors for the race car particularly. It's to participate as associate sponsors in the Fan Appreciation Tour. We have 11 major sponsors that have been with Richard for basically the whole time of his racing career. And then we've opened it up for companies like the Yates Country Ham people and people like Reebok and the 5-Star Cruises, which y'all heard about earlier today, and Custom Coach. And it's just really worked out real well for those companies to become involved.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing, Richard, all his life has generated so much awareness of NASCAR. I mean, he has made it the big business that he is. He had a big hand in it. Now, once again, as he is leaving, he's going out with style and class and of course, bringing the image of NASCAR to more and more people.
Yeah, you really don't realize it until you see where the sport started. As Richard said, it's an amateur sport, and now it's a professional sport.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, we haven't even, it's like they say, you haven't seen anything yet. I mean, it's
Tip of
great.
the iceberg.
It's exactly
You
right.
know, those Daytona, the cars that you have coming up at each track, they are really hard to get a hold of. I mean, a lot of people, I got one at Daytona, those Richard Petty cars. It was $10. This week, they're on sale for $35.
Wow.
Well, yeah. And, that might be a good time to make a point about that because what we did is we issued the tracks Richard's likeness to do the program.
Mm-hmm.
And the tracks are offering the cars and selling them at a very fair price for the fans to acquire. And unfortunately, the bootleggers, or not really bootleggers, but the other entrepreneurs,
Scalpers, that's a much better
that's a
word.
good word, have come and bought a large number of those and then taken advantage of that and come to other states and
Yeah,
sold
well, it's just part of the whole game, though. Stuff like that's going to happen. But it would be nice to get a hold of some stuff with Fan Appreciation Tour on it, since this is his last year, and they're going to be collector's items.
Yeah, that's right. I think one other thought about the cars there, I just don't want the fans to think that, just because this car has gotten placed at a $30 market value or price, that Richard Petty's making that money. It's not Richard Petty. The program is designed for the fans to collect something for this year, working with the tracks, and unfortunately we can't control that after they have bought the car someplace else and taken it and selling it in the black, in the other markets.
Oh, one last question. Was this whole thing was Richard's idea, the whole Fan Appreciation Tour, and it just, you
Exactly
helped
right.
blossom it out to what it is?
Exactly right. When they called me in October to come and work with them on the press conference and explore the ideas of the associate sponsors and make it into a whole project, Richard already had worked with STP and some of the other sponsors to come up with the idea, and it was just, it's amazing. It really is.
It's incredible.
It's fun.
No doubt about it. Nothing else like it in the world.
You're right. You're exactly right.
You must be pleased to work with such a fine man.
It is definitely a great experience. I mean, I will never forget what's happened so far, and plus we've got an exciting year, that's for sure.
No doubt.
Well, thank you, Keith.
Sure,
I appreciate
thank you.
it. Doesn't he look like Kevin Bacon?
Yeah. Or was it Joe Montana? There it is. Autograph?
He's a clone, is what
You
he
have
is.
to turn sideways.
Seems to look like. Here's some Paulette Carlson. I'll start. Welcome back to Not Married with Children.
And not married with no children.
It's Katie and Al here, and just having a ball with all these nice people at Richard Petty Museum.
Yeah, we got to say happy birthday to some fine folks who were born on the 26th of February. Fats Domino, Tony Randall, Jackie Gleason, Johnny Cash.
The man in black.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, John.
He is 60 years old today. And then we got to say, of course, mention that Buffalo Bill Cody's birthday is today.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Hi,
got
everybody in Cody, Wyoming.
we got to remember his sister, Buffalo Bertha.
Oh, there really
and his
was?
other brother, Buffalo Bubba. So,
He's a local guy.
yeah. We went to the garage yesterday, talked some more of Richard Petty's crew, and Richie has been there for forever. This man has really gotten around, but he was kind of camera shy. But I got a little information out of him. Let's take a look. Here's a guy real familiar with folks who've been around in Petty Enterprises for some time. It's Richie Bars, who's you've been here for how long?
21 years.
That's a long time. You've done about everything, and you know about everything. Is that correct? That's what I've been heard. I mean, I've been told that about you.
Not really. Still learning.
Well, he's not exactly one to toot your own horn, but you used to work with Mario Andretti, to name a few.
True.
Did you build engines for him, or
Yeah. Can-Am series.
were you? Or is that what you are basically with Richard throughout the years to help build his engines, or
No, I just do special projects.
like what?
Dynamometers, truck, special suspensions, tailpipes, headers, brake ducts, rear end gears.
Bunch of stuff. Well, what are you doing these days?
I'm getting ready to go to Rockingham.
Are you still travel with Richard to the
No, ma'am.
races?
No.
Just the close by ones, or
None.
None?
Don't go to any races.
since when?
Since about 76.
Is that right? just thought you'd stay here at Petty Enterprises and do your thing at home? That's kind of like what Wade feels, huh?
Yeah.
There's a lot of you guys around here like that.
Well, you need to give somebody else a chance.
That makes sense. Makes sense. Well, let me ask you this. It's probably a question that a lot of people are wondering. Can Richard Petty win another race?
Yeah, given the right set of circumstances, sure.
Sure, I figured he can. I mean, I know he can. I want him to. Everybody does. Everybody, I think, if you're a racing fan, you're a Richard Petty fan. It just makes sense. But why is he not?
Well, that's a tough one to call. If you want to look at it from the luck standpoint, Richard Petty has probably used up pretty much of his luck.
Yeah, 30 so years. But it's not the fact he's still got strong engines.
Well, I'm not questioning that, but anybody will tell you that a certain amount of these races are won on luck.
No doubt. We've seen that happen a lot.
And they also say you make your own luck, and Lord knows we've been trying to make ours. We just haven't done it very well.
We could figure out how to do that, then you'd be winning some races, make your own luck. But, gee, this must be pretty thrilling to go back. I mean, you were there in the early 70s, and when Richard was just, taking names.
True.
And nobody could touch him, and you were there. You had to experience all that he did back in those days.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't get kissed by the Speedway Queen too
I
often,
worked on the car that broke his 10-race win streak in 1967.
That broke his 10 race?
Me and Jake Elder worked for Bobby Allison.
Is that right? Back in those days, huh? Well, you've been around a lot of famous people and names, and you never want to give this up, do you?
Well, it's been good to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Lord, I hate to think I have to go and get a real job.
Well, hopefully you won't. Richie, we appreciate you taking time. We're going to be looking for Richard to win one, and you're back there behind him. Thanks a lot.
You. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Back to work, back to work.
He wore his best overalls for that interview.
Did he really?
Looking real. And you know what?
Sharp.
Who does he look like?
Robin Williams?
Doesn't he?
Good morning, level cross. Huh?
Oh, but a bunch of interesting people around here, and hopefully we can meet some more before the show's over. But right now, how about...
Welcome back to Video Morning. Another special guest, Chuck Spicer, owner of the STP company.
Yeah, I wish.
Right here. Well, you're on your way up.
You and Andy are real close, man.
Oh, yeah, Andy's a great guy. You know that Andy has not owned any of the company since 1972.
Well, why does it... You're kidding.
No.
He's not associated at all with STP?
No, he's not associated at all with since 1972. It is now First Brands Corporation,
Wow.
which owns, I got to plug this, First Brands Corporation is STP, Simonized Wax, Glad, and Presto.
Wow.
That makes it First Brands.
Now we know. About time we got caught up, right?
Yeah, but the main thing's STP.
Yeah, of course. And we're glad you're here. And right now is a very special moment for you, Chuck, because we're going to do the Video Morning Word du jour in
Well,
Chuck's honor.
Just lucky, I guess. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's our word today from the V category.
Is it veneration?
It could be. It
Sounds
also
German.
could be veneration.
Isn't that what Walt had for dinner last night?
He had veneration? What he had after dinner.
That's very popular in the town of Asheboro, North Carolina.
Oh, is
Yes,
it?
yes, yes.
Is that, well, Chuck, we need.
Veneration.
Well, actually, what, you don't have any idea what it means, Chuck?
Veneration. No, I do not have an idea.
Maybe that
lot
girl on the PA does.
A lot of people venerate Richard Petty.
Ah,
Can I say that?
yes.
Profound respect and
Reverence. Reverence, Chuck.
Reverence.
Great word.
Reverend.
Reverence.
Yes. See, that's why we did the word du jour with Chuck.
ooh, boy. Don't know about owning STP at the moment, I'll tell you that.
You make it look good.
Yeah, that's a good word for Richard Petty. A lot of people have a high veneration
A lot of
for
respect.
Richard. Yeah, no
For the whole
doubt.
Petty family. I think that's the biggest thing I've noticed since working with them in STP is the respect for the family, the respect for Richard, and the competitors respect him, and it's the whole thing across the line, the family, him, the people that work for him, just everybody respects
You can
Richard
feel
Petty.
it, no doubt. I mean, nobody else will ever be able to do what he did, win 200 races. Junior Johnson said one time, it would take a race car driver to win 10 races a year for 20 years. Ain't gonna happen.
No, that's the thing, is in the early 70s, you know, he was just, like you say, kicking tail and everything, but he's,
Can't say that. Can't say that.
well, he was just, whatever. But he did such a great job, and the legacy has lived on, and even though haven't won a race in a few years, the competition is still there for him, and the desire to win is still there for him.
Yeah, he still wants to. It would be so nice to win one this year.
Boy, I tell you, that'd be the greatest.
Oh, what a celebration. Well, Chuck, you stay with us for a while. We might give you a little more rough
Let's let
time.
him introduce this thing.
You want to?
He's an old Dakota friend of mine.
Yes.
That's one we're going
Oh, Joe.
hold in here.
Not really.
Joe Diffie and Chuck. gosh, are we saying bye to Chuck?
No,
Gonna be
Chuck's got to
sad.
stay. He's going to tell us who's going to be driving the STP car next year.
Yeah, right.
I got to go.
Well, here, we have profound respect and reverence for you, Chuck, and I thought you might want to keep that.
This is a highlight of my career right here, guys. Yes, sirree. I'm going to have Richard sign this and put it up somewhere.
In the museum?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
it'll be
Katie and
worth
Al
it.
sign it too.
Oh, well.
Okay.
And we'll put it up in the museum here somewhere.
All right, Chuck.
All righty.
Well, we're going to come back and show you a lot more video. Stay with us.
We're
Well,
back.
Chuck's still here because he's just so entertaining and tantalizing, and gee, you're just... What else you want to talk about? I know you're... how long have you known Richard Petty?
I've been working about 2.5 years with Richard Petty.
And you
Hey.
guys are doing all kinds of stuff together now.
Yeah, he actually has a hobby, and that's four-wheeling. He has a bunch of acres behind his house back there, and he has his little four-wheelers, and that's how he gets away. A lot of people may go fish, a lot of people may go hunt, but he goes in four-wheels.
Still
and-
behind the wheel,
yeah.
though.
It kind
Yes,
of makes
it-
sense, yeah.
Trying to keep up with him is not easy. Let me just.
Oh, I
mean,
bet.
when he's going slow, you gotta be on the throttle hard to keep up with him.
Wow,
but-
what fun.
Yeah, he cuts his own little trails. It's great. He's like Daniel Boone out there, man, and just in a world all his own, and it is just great.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, I think, for the point that there's not a lot of people there around him, and he really, I think, likes to go off by himself more than anything. But on certain occasions, we'll all get together and we'll go out there and ride the four-wheelers, and I think that's how he really relaxes and gets away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
You've had your own experience with race cars, haven't you?
Yeah, I own a little mini sprint car, and I get to house it here at Petty Enterprises.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Yeah. They ask where my car's at. Nah, it's right next to Richard's, I tell
We
them.
saw that. That's the one with no tires on it.
Yeah, well,
right?
it's a long story right there. We're,
Need a tire sponsor.
yeah, I need a tire sponsor. Thank you. I did that one. So, but yeah, that's my hobby.
Yeah.
You know, like some people go fishing again, like I say, or whatever. I like to drive my race car, and when I get through with that, then it's the real world of helping Richard and the team, and my jobs with the team, and you know, it's just my hobby.
Are you surprised at the response you're getting from the Fan Appreciation Tour?
It's unreal. I know Keith is just doing a marvelous job with it and everything, but a lot of the public relations and I do and personal appearances with Richard, and it's tripled on everything from this year to last year.
Yeah, we can expect that. Busy guy.
Yes, wonderful guy, but a busy guy.
Oh, I was talking about you.
Oh, gee.
You mean he's not a wonderful guy?
Well, I'm
After
sure
all
he
he's done for us.
Oh, I got to do this. Hi, Mom.
Oh,
Okay.
You got it off.
I had to
your
do that.
chest.
She has begged me for 3 years to do that.
Oh, well, very good. Now your job is done.
Yes, it is.
Thanks a lot, Chuck.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Chuck
it.
Spicer, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. This ought to be Clinton Gregory right about now, is it?
Sounds good. Let's do it. It's going to clear up today. Beautiful weekend. And look who's here. Cousin Dale. Hi,
How you
Dale.
doing, Cousin
Dale
Dale?
Inman. Okay? You really are Richard's cousin, right?
That's what they told me a long time
I
ago.
thought-
Maybe he's my cousin.
Well, okay.
No, I'm
I
older.
thought it was just what they called you, but you really are.
Yeah, his mother and my mother was first cousins. And we grew up as family, you know, and we've always been here in Level Cross, and that's the way it's been,
You've
you
been
know,
a
for
part
a long
of this
time.
organization for many moons.
I went to races with him in '49, I guess, when Lee was driving you, and that was probably 10 years before Richard drove.
Mm-hmm.
Was that in Daytona? On the beach, or?
We went to Daytona. I went to Daytona with him in '58, and then, of course, they went to the big track in '59. But the local tracks, Hickory, Hillsborough, and all that, you know, we would go. We'd drive the race car there
Yeah.
and then tow it back. Of course, we drove the race car to California one year for Lee to drive, and this was before Richard drove, so it's changed a lot.
Well, they don't make them like they used to, eh?
No, not really.
Not
But they do
much
make them safer.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
You're the mastermind, have been for years. That's what
No,
I've heard. Come on,
no.
don't be shy.
No, we,
Engine man extraordinaire.
no, not that. I just kind of keep all the people headed in the right direction, I hope. And we've had some good times and bad times, but I guess you got to take all that, too.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to have as much good times as you guys did.
Yeah, but it's been a long time since we've had some real good times.
Well, there'll be some this year. There'll be some. That's one thing I never realized. This thing's so much a team sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of people. You know, people used to come here and they'd look at the car and say, gosh, we just thought y'all put a number on these things and went and raced them and had fun. But it's a lot more to it than that. And it's really got big in the last 5 or 6, 7 years, you know, with the money from television and the bigger sponsors and the different kind of sponsors. You know, of course, we've been with STP for 21 years, you know, going on, and that's extremely a long time for anything.
That's rare. But like I was saying, team though, it takes a while. Like Bill Elliott's got a new team. It's a lot of the race car drivers from year to year changes just like that, and you know, it takes time to work those things out with a team.
Well, it used to be the Wood Boys, us, and Junior Johnson, and nobody ever dreamed about changing teams. And of course, it's kind of like baseball and football right now. If you see somebody you like, you go negotiate with them, just like Joe Gibbs. He come in and he bought. I'm not going to say this. He got some people that he liked and put together a team, and that. But a lot of those people had come from other teams, and the people that used to come here, then we trained here. They had no race experience.
Well, it's stimulating stuff, and it certainly has changed quite a bit in a while, but it's heading in the right direction, isn't it?
Well, I hope so, and it, like I say, from 49 to now, or even in the mid-50s, the 60s, and the 70s, we've gone through all this in the 80s and now into the 90s. But it just keeps growing, so you really, it's kind of scary to see where it will go. And, you know, we've had the presidents at the races and all kind of celebrities, and it's a very popular sport.
Oh, it's one of the most wonderful spectator sports in the world, no doubt. Tell by the fans that show up.
Yeah, we, like, I talked to some boys yesterday from the Washington Redskin organization, and they just got back from the Super Bowl, you know, and they had like 60 or 70,000 there at Minneapolis, and of course we had 150 at Daytona, and they couldn't believe it. So we got a pretty good deal going.
Years and years and years you've been. Personally, I'd rather watch a nice Daytona race in football, but you know, it's no slight on football. It's just more interesting to me.
Here's a forecast we don't want for this weekend.
No doubt.
For the good range races on TNN.
All right, on Video Morning, and we're with the general manager of Petty Enterprises, Dale Inman, but they're so laid back. I mean, you know, all these guys are. Have you noticed that, Al?
We had to tell him he was general manager.
It's just,
Well, if I have to sweep the floor, I go do that too. You know what I mean? So
but you still go to all the races.
I go to all the races. I go to all the test sessions, and if the car runs, I want to see it.
He's almost as big as a legend as Richard Petty, Dale Inman. We thank you for joining us.
Wish you a lot of luck this year.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it.
Sure appreciate it,
very
Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
See you later.
All right.
Back with more in Video Morning right after this.
See a lot of great stuff here at the Richard Petty Museum in Level Cross, North Carolina, and a lot of fine folks have been dropping by. And here's another one, Martha Jane, personal secretary to the King.
Ooh.
She has been called the Queen Bee to the King.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well,
now.
Nancy Neal's the only one who said that, actually.
200-mile-an-hour
We
handmade.
have to let Linda Gill be Queen Bee.
Oh, well, that's true. Of course, Linda is his wife. But you have been working with Richard for quite a long time, right?
Yes, sure have. 4 years the second time I came back. I had been with him several years back in the 60s and 70s.
What exactly do you do for him?
Well, we keep up with his extremely busy schedule. We always do the calendar in pencil because we always have to change.
Wow.
Chuck Spicer usually does that to me. But yeah, it's just something constant all the time.
Well, do you, you're going to keep working for him, of course, even after this year?
Well, I hope so, because we know he's going to keep working.
Well, we'll put a plug in for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Deserves raise right over here.
Oh, that's good. We ought to do this more often, then.
You don't get on TV much, do you?
No, not at all.
Is this a nice experience for you?
Yes, it is.
Well,
Very nice.
Good.
We appreciate y'all coming down. This is a great day.
Yeah.
Real busy, but we don't mind.
Well, thank you very much. Everybody's been so nice to us.
Yes, we enjoy you.
Well, you do a good job. You obviously do, because Richard is constantly busy, and he's always where he's supposed to be, as far as he was here this morning for us.
We hope so. We have to send him out a little card every week, and where he's going, I type up exactly where he's supposed to be. And if he didn't have his little card, he wouldn't know exactly where he's supposed to be, racetrack or anywhere else.
Oh, boy.
He's the keeper, huh? And you're the keeper.
Try to be.
This is all he got to do is keep up with that little card, and he's okay.
Yes, if he misplaces his card, he's lost.
All right. Well, Martha, keep at him. You do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's she loves my carp.
Over Al Pacino, she loves my scar. Something like that. Okay. Well, there you go. We have Linda Petty with us again. We've met some wonderful people. You've really had a blessed life to work with all these fine folks.
They're all wonderful. We love them, everyone.
You get a nice family feeling around here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's a real nice laid-back feeling. And, you know, we wanted to mention one more time, but a lot of fans, you know, it's hard to get to Richard sometimes. No doubt about it. I mean, you know, maybe you won't get to him all year, but what you need to do is go on that cruise.
That's right. Please don't forget the cruise. And this will be November the 20th through 27th. You can call the number on the screen now. Get all your information, and please join us. We're going to have a big time. This will be during Thanksgiving. We'll all have a big Thanksgiving feast, and just going to have a really good time.
Cruises are great for eating. There's no doubt about
And
it.
for relaxing. So
Yes.
that's what this cruise is going to be.
Well, who are you going to take with you?
Oh, we're taking the whole gang. I'll probably be tired because our whole family will be our 3 daughters, their families, Kyle and his family,
Wow.
and, of course, Richard and I. And maybe a few other in-laws like
Cousin
aunts,
Dale?
uncles, cousins, moms and dads.
Does
The
sound
whole
like
gang.
a great time.
That's going to be great. Is Kyle going to sing maybe on his cruise? You know, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, he doesn't do much of that anymore, does
He does just for the family.
he? Yeah.
When we get together, he picks and sings.
Lucky folks you are. No, he is good, and he, you know, he gave Michael Waltrip a little bit of a ribbon there when Mike came on the show and sang that night.
I turned the TV on, and there was Michael singing. I could not believe it. But he done a great job. I was real impressed.
Well, he was real nervous. I mean, it doesn't take anything to get behind a car and go, you know, 200 miles an hour. But to get on the stage and sing, I thought it took a lot of guts.
Oh, he's come a long way.
Took a lot of guts to sing, I'll tell you.
He done good.
Yeah. And well, we're looking forward to that cruise. If you want to, you can go ahead and call and make reservations now.
Call that number, and they will give you all the information. You can pay your deposit and assure yourself of a place to be on there, and we're just looking forward to being with
Maybe Al and
everybody.
I could do it, huh?
Yeah, we could.
Come join us.
Oh, I'd love to.
That'd be
Thanks for
great.
being such a great hostess for us today.
Linda Petty, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll join you tomorrow from Rockingham. We're going back to school right here on...
God only knows how you feel. Yeah, God only knows.